Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to the VectorVest mobile training session here. My name is Patrick France, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest, and I'm glad to help you guys out this morning. If you can hear me, go ahead, add it into the chat box. Let me know that you can hear me. Say yes, type in where you're from. Let me see where we're reaching out to today. Awesome. So it looks like we got audio. Everybody is working well. So in the background as well, I have Glenn Tompkins. A lot of you guys should be familiar with him if you've ever been to any of our webcasts. He's another senior instructor here at VectorVest. And he'll be moderating once again in the background. So if you guys have any questions, comments, whatever it may be, he'll be able to answer those or get them out to me so we can answer them live here for you. So once again, my name is Patrick France. I've been here at VectorVest for about 8 years now. Before that, I really started learning investing when I was about 4 years old, starting to learn how to read charts with my father. Started off learning about RSI being one of the biggest indicators I learned. Ever since that point, really got interested in what's going on in the market, how to take advantage of it, how to make money out of the market. After I graduated high school, I went to college at Auburn University for a degree in economics. And then from that point, I moved up here to gorgeous North Carolina to start working for VectorVest. I figured it was a great company. My dad had been using it for a long time. I liked the information they were giving. They had a lot of insight into what's going on. And when I first started here, I thought I knew a lot because I knew how to read charts. But the more I started getting into things, the more I realized there was a lot I had to learn still, even with my vast knowledge I had before that. One of the biggest things that VectorVest has helped me personally with is the fundamental aspects of investing. How to understand the fundamentals of the company, the balance sheets, and how to interpret it to make smart, informed decisions off of it. So over the 8 years, I've definitely improved on both aspects of it, even learned more tricks of the trade in the graphing aspects and the technical aspects of things. And so today, I'm going to help you learn how to use the VectorVest mobile app to make money for yourself. So let's get right into it. So here at VectorVest, we believe in buying rising stocks and rising markets. We also believe that you should buy safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price and rising markets as well. So as you can see on the home screen, we're right now on the overview page. This is the very first page you come up to. And the first thing as a new subscriber you should always do is build a watch list. Because you need to know how safe your stocks are and whether or not you should buy, sell, or hold a stock. And a watch list can provide you with that information very, very quickly. So let's go ahead and do it together. To build that watch list, we'll tap on the menu button in the upper left-hand corner and choose My Watch List. Now, as a new subscriber, you won't have any of your own watch list built, so we'll have to build one together. To create a watch list, simply tap on Create in the upper right. We'll give it a name. I'll call this Facebook Live for today. Then tap on Create Watch List to create the shell of the account. Once the watch list is created, you'll then want to add your own stocks into your watch list. To add those stocks into your watch list, simply tap on the plus symbol in the upper right. And this is where you can enter your own symbols in by either the company's symbol, or if you don't know the symbol, you can also type the company's name and it'll look it up that way as well to make it easy for you and efficient for you to be able to get your watch list together as quickly as possible. Now, out there, if you have any symbols that you want to add into our watch list today, go ahead, type them into the comments section below. Let's get those put in here. Let's build this watch list together here. And the main reason we want to use a watch list is because it takes all the guesswork out of your investing. It force ranks everything in our portfolio to bring the best stocks to the top of the list and the worst stocks to the bottom, which once we get this watch list put in, we'll see that in action here. So Glenn, do we have any stocks that are requested or any that you guys would want to take a look at?
MU.
All right, Micron. There we go, and we'll add another one here. DHI, the home builders. Alrighty.
TAP.
All right, we got that in here. we have a couple of more.
Facebook.
Good one since we're doing it on Facebook. So yeah, let's go ahead and add Facebook here. And since right now, I'm using an Apple device, let's go ahead and add Apple to the list. And then, so yeah, we have a few stocks in here. We have a couple of buys, we have a hold, we have some sells. So, once you put in your stocks, as you can see, as we talked about a second ago, it automatically force ranks our stocks to bring the best stocks in our portfolio to the top. So, and right away, you can already get a plethora of information. For example, we can see its rating, whether we give it a buy, sell, or a hold rating. We can see the company's ticker symbol and name. We get the current price and what it's doing in the market today. And then we also get a recommended stop price. This is our final line in the sand. We'll dive into it a little bit later, but this is, a great point to know either sell now or hold at your own risk if you're still holding on to it by that point. So if you're looking to get more information on any individual stock, all you have to do is tap on it. It's only a tap away. So if we tap on Micron, for example, we'll use this as our example for right now. We can see we get a graph here, and then below that, we get our core indicators. So the first one we're going to cover today is the growth potential, or the relative value, or RV. This is extremely important for an individual because you wouldn't ever want to buy a stock if you knew that it didn't have good long-term potential, at least over the next 1 to 3 years or so. Would you want to buy a stock if you knew that, over the next 1 to 3 years, it was probably not going to do a whole lot? Let me know below. The next indicator we have is the RS, or relative safety. And this is the most unique and powerful indicator here at VectorVest. It allows you to manage your risk in just seconds. If the RS is above 1, the closer to 2 it is, the stronger or the safer the stock is here. And actually, all 4 of these indicators, the RV, the RS, the RT, and the VST, are all based on scales of 0 to 2. Above 1 is favorable, below 1 is unfavorable. And that's really as hard as we need to make it. So if you can remember, above 1 is good, below 1 is bad, there we go. That's as hard as VectorVest needs to be for you. So getting back into it, the next indicator is the relative timing, or the RT. This is simply the short-term price trend of the stock. This is great to know because you don't want to ever buy a stock if it's falling. You want to have stocks that are rising in your portfolio to continue to make you money. And the RT can tell us that. And then all 3 of these indicators, the RV, RS, and RT, are comprised to come up with our master indicator, VST, standing for value, safety, and timing. So this is unique to only VectorVest here. And this gives you a great overall picture of the stock on both a fundamental and a technical basis, something you won't find anywhere else. A lot of places just focus on the fundamentals. A lot of places just focus on the technicals. VectorVest allows you to get a great picture of both of them into one indicator here, which we use, the VST. Now, if you're looking to get more information on any of these indicators or any other indicator that VectorVest has, at the bottom of the screen, you see where it says Stock Analysis Report. If we tap on that together here, it pulls up the detailed summary or detailed analysis of the company. And you can pull this report up on any stock at any time, anywhere. This report allows you to analyze, summarize, and really explain all the indicators we just covered, plus a lot more. So we start off, we get the VectorVest summary. We talk about what the company is doing currently. We can see its stock graph compared to its industry. And this is nice and handy because this can allow us to identify if this stock is a leader in its industry or a laggard in its industry. And we would typically advocate to buy the leaders of the industry. Then below there, you get a business description of what the company does. Then we get the recommendation or the rating. We get the value, and the value is extremely important for you because this allows you to know what the stock is currently worth. And if you're ever going to go buy a stock, you don't want to overpay for a stock. Just like if you go shopping somewhere, you never want to overpay for something. Well, the value is something unique to VectorVest that we can allow you to now identify whether you're overpaying for something or underpaying for something, or whether you're overpaying or getting a bargain, if you will. And also, one last thing on the value, our mantra here is to buy safe, undervalued stocks. We advocate to get a bargain on a stock. Don't overpay for something. And then after the value, we then get the RV once again, the relative value, the relative safety, the relative timing, overall value, safety, and timing, and then the stop price once again. So as we can see, stop is an indicator of when to sell a position. And this is our final line in the sand. Simply put, if you haven't gotten out of the stock by the time it hits this price here, you either need to sell now or hold at your own risk. And then below that, you then get a lot of other detailed information like earnings information, dividend information, and even market capitalization information. But for now, let's go ahead, back out of this, get back to our main watch list that we built together here. So we'll tap on the back menu or back option in the upper left. Tap on it one more time to get to our watch list, and there we go. So the next thing we want to do is a little activity with you guys here today. So what we're going to do is what we like to call weeding the garden. Helping you identify, especially if you're new, the worst performers in your portfolio. So that way you can, reevaluate them, free up capital to reinvest into stocks that are doing what you want them to be doing. And this is extremely important to being successful in the market long term. If you can weed out your worst performers and replace them with the best performers at any given time over the long term in the market, you're on the right track to make money here. So that's what we're going to go over how to do today. So at the top, you can see it tells us they're ranked by VST here. So we're going to change this. We're going to tap on where it says ranked by VST and choose the RT or relative timing. And once again, the relative timing is the short-term price trend of the stock. So if the relative timing is below 1, is that good or bad? Leave your answers in the comments below. And while we're getting those answers, we can see that it's bad. It's stock and, looking at the relative timing, it's not only showing that the stock is in a downtrend, but also the magnitude of the downtrend. So if we tap on Molson's here, we can see our TAP to take a look at it a little bit deeper here. And then we'll tap on the 1-year graph. And I'll turn the phone landscape mode so you guys out there can see it a little bit better here. You can see Molson's has been on a downtrend over the last year. It bounced around from a sell to a hold, and then it's really been a sell for the last month and a half, 2 months or so. So this is a stock that, is only losing us money here. And it doesn't make sense to hold on to a stock that's losing us money. I think you all can agree with that. So this brings up, a few other ways that we want to cover with you guys of knowing when to sell a stock. First off, we covered is the relative timing being below 1. The second thing is looking at price direction volatility. And this can be found right here on the graph and looking at the graph. When you're looking for a stock, by basic definition, higher highs and higher lows puts a stock in an uptrend. That means lower highs, lower lows puts a stock in a downtrend. If we look at Molson's, we can see lower highs and lower lows. By definition, putting the stock in a downtrend. So therefore, price direction tells us this is not a stock we want to look at. Also, whenever you start to see more volatility in a stock, so when you see bigger fluctuations, for example, if we looked at the inverse of this, if you're seeing a stock steadily rising from the bottom left to the upper right, then all of a sudden you start noticing it either moving sideways or starting, having bigger swings in price. That's an early warning sign that investor sentiment is starting to change. So price direction volatility is a great way of identifying early on that a stock's direction may be getting ready to not do what you want it to do here. The third tip is looking at using a moving average. You can use whatever moving average you're comfortable with, but today we'll go ahead and use a 40-day simple moving average. Now, as you can see, there's not a moving average on this graph. So to add a moving average to the graph, you tap on the menu icon or the little gear settings icon in the upper left, and you'll see moving averages down here. So we'll tap on moving averages, and we'll just turn on moving average 1. And now you can increase or decrease this period of a moving average by either using the minus or plus symbol, or you can tap on the box and type it in manually what number you wanted to use. Also, we're going to stick with a simple moving average here today, but you could use an exponential or weighted moving average. So now that we've got that moving average onto our graph, let's go back, and I'll rotate the device. And if we just zoom out to a 5-year time span by tapping on 5Y in the upper right, let's look at this together here. So when the price of TAP was above the 40-day moving average, it was having a nice steady uptrend. Here's some of that volatility, nice steady trend higher. Then you started seeing bigger swings coming in. Price fell for a bit. Then broke above the 40-day moving average again, continued to rally in a nice steady fashion here. And then once it broke below the 40-day moving average, it continued to fall from that point going till now. So that's why, using a moving average can really help you identify whether or not you should still hold on to a stock. If it's below its 40-day moving average or whatever moving average you're comfortable with, that's usually a good indication that, hey, this stock isn't doing what I want it to be doing. I really should reevaluate this position in my portfolio. And lastly, the last thing of knowing when to sell, or an indication of when to sell, is looking at the rating up right here at the top. If it's a sell rating, that shows that the stock is below its stop price, first off, and that it's not doing what we want it to be doing. It's in a downtrend, it's moving lower, the relative timing is below 1. So if you see all these indications of the price volatility and direction are not in your favor, you see the RT is below 1, you see that it's below the 40-day moving average, and then all of a sudden the final signal we're going to give you is a sell rating on a stock. That's our final signal that tells you, hey, right now we need to really reevaluate this position and consider, or reconsider why we purchased this position, and are those reasons that you purchased it still true today? If they're not, I think we've made the answer clear already. So let's back out of this. And now we've identified that TAP is not a stock we want in our portfolio. Let's say we go to the broker, we put in an order to sell it. I'm going to go ahead and remove it out of our portfolio just by simply swiping to the left. And bam, it's gone. So now we need to know, yes?
Facebook has been asked to be taken a look at.
Sure, we can take a look at Facebook real quick. So we'll use it as an example here. We'll tap on Facebook. And then we'll quickly go over our indicators here. So once again, above 1 is good, below 1 is bad. So the long-term potential at 1.5, is that good or is that bad? Leave your answer in the comments below. Safety, 1.4, is that good or is that bad? Relative timing, 1.35, is that good or is that bad? Overall VST, 1.41, good or bad? So now that I've given you guys a couple of seconds to get your answers in, all 4 of these indicators are above 1, so that means they're all favorable. Therefore, Facebook is a good option right now. It's a great looking stock, has good fundamentals, is in an uptrend, and just in a matter of seconds, we can instantly get that information rather than spending hours upon hours upon hours churning through data and churning through all these different numbers of financial reports, looking at charts and different views. In a matter of 10 seconds, we can say, hey, this company has good long-term potential. It has above average safety. Its fundamentals are good. It's in an uptrend right now. So the stock's overall favorable. That answers the question for you, that this stock is a good stock right now. You know, it is down a little bit here today, but it's been on a nice steady uptrend. If we take a look at the graph, I'll rotate the device. Price is steadily rising, and we'll cover what to look for, when looking for winning candidates here in a moment. But, just taking a look at it, price has been steadily rising. We do see a little bit of volatility picking up here, so that does give us, an early warning sign to be cautious with it. But overall, it's been moving nicely here. It's above its 40-day moving average for right now. The relative timing's above 1, so still has good potential right now. It is pulling back a little bit today, but it's right at its high for the year, so still doing what we want it to be doing here. Hopefully that helps. All right, so let's get back to our watch list. So we've freed up capital. We've gotten rid of TAP. We've freed up capital to reinvest. Now we need to know where to go find stocks to get into when the timing is right. And VectorVest is your one-stop shop to manage your portfolio. To find those stocks, we simply tap on the menu button at the top here in the upper left and choose Premium Watch List right here. And now this will bring some of our best and most popular watch lists right to you. Now, if you're not familiar with some of these names, you can tap on the eye in the upper right, and that'll give you a little detailed description about each one of them. So for Midas Touch stocks, we'll tap on the eye, and we can see these are high momentum stocks. So if you're a short-term swing trader, these are a great place to go to find stocks that you'd be interested in. If you're not a short-term swing trader, if you're more of a longer-term investor, we have other stocks or other watch lists here for you, such as the WOW watch list, gold bugs, monthly dividend payers, and even stocks with weekly options. For now, let's go ahead and use Midas Touch stocks. So we'll tap on the watch list, and it takes us right in. And once again, it's force ranked, so it brings the best stocks to the top and the worst stocks to the bottom. So therefore, you don't have to go through, pages and pages and pages. You just have to look at the top few and find the one that suits you best. Everybody's different. So what I may see is the best, you may find the second one is the best. So, go through at least the first few to find the one that really suits your personal investment style. But for right now, we'll take Holly Frontier, the top one here. We'll take a look at it by tapping on it. We can see the RV is good, so it has great long-term potential over the next few years. The relative safety is good, so their fundamentals and their financials are consistent. The relative timing is extremely good at 1.74, so it's in a strong uptrend right now. So therefore, the stock's favorable. Now, we talked about, we want to show you how to identify high probability winning candidates here. And all of that can be found in the graph. Now, a graph is like a big picture of the stock. And if you're familiar with the old saying, a picture's worth 1,000 words, we firmly believe in that. So that's why we take a look at the graph, because it tells us a lot about the stock. So I'm going to rotate my device sideways here again. And there's two things we want to look for when looking at a stock. Let's bring it back to a 1 year. And just to let you guys know, I tapped on 1Y at the top to bring it back to a year's time frame here. And the two things we always want to look for is, one, a steadily rising price from bottom left to the upper right. Like we see here with Holly Frontier. It did have some pullbacks from time to time, but overall, a nice steady rise from bottom left to upper right. The second thing we always want to look for is a steadily rising earnings, because earnings are going to be the main engine that drives any stock price higher over time. Now, you can see we don't have earnings on the graph. So if we want to add earnings onto the graph, we'll go to the settings button in the upper left and tap on it. And down here at the bottom, you see the lower graph, and it has indicator. We'll tap on that box there and choose EPS, or earnings per share. Now we'll go back to the graph again, rotate the device to landscape, and we see earnings per share down here at the bottom. Now, when looking at earnings per share, the same pattern that we look for in price is what we want to see with its earnings. We want to see a nice stair-step pattern from the bottom left to the upper right. That shows that the company is growing its earnings and also expected to continue to grow its earnings, at least 12 months down the road. And if analysts are seeing that, they expect this company to continue to grow their earnings a year from now, you can expect more analysts are going to buy into that stock, which is going to raise the price of the stock over time. And that's going to in turn make you as an investor even more money here. So to keep it simple, those are the two key things you always want to look for. A steadily rising price from bottom left to upper right, and a steadily rising earnings from bottom left to upper right. So now let's go back out of here, go back to that watch list we were just in, and take a look at Lulu, the second one here. Tap on it, pull up the graph. What do we see here with price? Steadily rising price from bottom left to upper right, and steadily rising earnings from bottom left to upper right. So this meets the two criteria that we look for. And that's how simple VectorVest makes it for you. We don't want to take up a lot of time. We want to help save you time. So the last thing, now that we've covered, how to manage your entire portfolio using that watch list, we've covered how to identify whether or not we should sell a stock. We've covered how to find winning candidates to replace those losers, so that way we can get our portfolio on the right track and have success over the long term. The last thing is knowing when to buy. I see it as an instructor here time and time again. As the market's falling, people are buying thinking that, okay, it's going to turn around the next day. It's going to turn around the next day. And their stocks go down and down and down until they get to the point where they say, well, now I have to just simply hold tight because I don't want to sell it and take a loss, even though I shouldn't have bought it to begin with. So what do I do now? And that's where VectorVest really stands out. Our market timing has nailed every single top and bottom over the last 25 years. All of our data is factual. We don't try to predict the market here at VectorVest. We're trend followers. And as the old saying goes, let the trend be your friend. So to get to that market timing information and to know when to buy, it's the very first thing you see actually when you sign into the mobile app for the first time. So for now, we'll go to the menu in the upper left and go to Market Overview once again. And keep it simple. What does the gauge tell us? Right here at the top, it tells us the market is somewhat bullish, and VectorVest advocates buying safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price at this time. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, it does. We just went over that a few minutes ago. So once again, keep it simple. I can't stress that enough. If you've noticed the big major theme for today's training session, it's simplicity. VectorVest is designed to make your life easier, free up your time, so that way you can spend it with your family and loved ones and doing the things you want to be doing rather than spending it at a computer all day and all night managing your portfolio for yourself. So we can see it tells us right now VectorVest advocates buying safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price at this time. If you're wanting a little bit more confirmation of that throughout the day, we can scroll down here. And then you get advances to declines. Right now, we have 48% of stocks moving higher today and 30% moving lower today. So therefore, we can see that the odds are in our favor that if we did buy a stock, that we have a higher probability of it continuing to move higher today since the majority of stocks are moving up. We want the wind to our sails, if you will. And then also, the last thing you always want to make sure of is that the major indices, the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P, are all moving up, typically 30 minutes to an hour after the market opens. You want to make sure that the major indices are moving higher by that point, just to feel a little bit more comfortable in entering into that stock for the day. If it tells us do not buy, it doesn't matter if the rating is a buy, sell, or hold on it, simply hold off. If it says do not buy, put the phone away. Go out, enjoy it. Go hit a bucket of balls. Go play around or go play an 18. Do whatever you do that makes you happy, but don't spend all day waiting for that opportunity. Wait it out for the day, wait for the next day. There's going to be plenty of opportunities that we have here in the market to get in. So no need to force our entry. Wait for that prime buying opportunity and then go ahead and buy the stocks that we already went over that had the high probability for success. So, in a matter of about 20, 30 minutes here, we've covered a lot of information for you guys on how to manage your portfolio quickly and efficiently, how to save yourself a lot of time, how to find winning candidates, and also when is a good time to buy and when is not a good time to buy. If you found this useful or found it helpful, please like, share, and leave a comment below. In the comments, let us know what you thought about it. Let us know what topics you want to see in the future. That way we can help gear this towards your own, your own concerns and your own thoughts and, whatever is going to help you the most. So please like, share, and leave a comment. Share this with your friends. Get this information out there. Let's get this group growing together here. And lastly, market guidance. If you're going to spend 5 minutes doing anything, spend the 5 minutes watching this video. The Daily Color Guard Report is 5 minutes long every Monday through Thursday, and it goes over what's going on in the market today, what to expect for tomorrow, what news you need to be aware of, and how to prepare yourself for the next trading day. So, quick synopsis in 5 minutes. You're not going to get more information in a shorter period of time anywhere else. And then on the weekend, on Fridays, we have the weekly special presentation. Now, this is a little bit longer. It's more thorough in the analysis. And we also give you Dr. DeLito's specific guidance and thoughts on the current market. This is where Dr. DeLito has warned our investors time and time again about official tops and bottoms. I could spend a whole 30 minutes going through different dates that Dr. DeLito gave guidance telling our subscribers, right now is the time to start taking your profits on the longer term. Or, back in March of 2009, he was mentioning markets itching to rally. Get ready to get your shopping list ready and get ready to start buying here soon. So there's a lot of great information, and this is one of the most powerful pieces of VectorVest right here in the weekly special presentation and the Daily Color Guard Report. So with that, folks, it's been my pleasure being with you guys today. I've had a great time. I hope you have too. Once again, like this video, share it with your friends, share it with your family. Get this out there. Let them know how easy this can be for them, how to get them to become successful trading in the market. And also, leave comments in the bottom or below and let us know what topics you want to see discussed so that way we can help you all out and really gear it towards your own personal needs here. So also, if you have any additional questions, give our support a call at 888-658-7638. We're open 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, and 9 to 5 Eastern on Saturdays. If you ever feel stuck or if you ever have questions or want help with it, our support is here to help you out pretty much anytime, any day. So once again, my name is Patrick France. Take care and have a great rest of your day, folks. Bye for now.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Now, if you're new to the software or would like refresher information about the software, click on this Getting Started video right here. Thanks to all of your input, here's a YouTube video that we think would be perfect for you. Click right here. If nothing else, folks, just hit the subscribe button right here.